Hello everybody and welcome to John Time. We're going to leave the other J out of this one. My videos will be more focused on anime, video games, and cooking. So today, on my very first video by myself, we are going to be talking about Bravery Default 2. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I didn't put my hand in all the words, and we'll go from there. So to start off, I'll go ahead and show you guys the new game and what it looks like when you select that. And then you have the loading screen, and it can be like a little lantern or a horse if you're going to fast travel on a horse, or if you're walking, it shows like the little people walking. And this is just what it looks like when you start a new game. You can pick casual, normal, or hard depending on what you want your difficulty to be like. But I'm going to go ahead and load up my personal save game so you can see it. I'm a little bit farther and I really don't want to spoil the storyline for you. One of the first things you probably noticed when it did load up is it says that I've just come back from an adventure. So when you're done playing it for today, you can go ahead and put your Switch in sleep mode by pressing the power button off, and as long as you have told them you wanted to go on an adventure when you put it in sleep, your characters will go on an adventure, and then when you get back into the game and start playing the game again, you can get different experience items and gold items to, you know, make more money, or go ahead and level your job up, or go ahead and level your character level up. So while I bring up that menu, I'm just going to go ahead and show you the different items that I've gotten, just because it's the first one. And I've got, you know, the magical defense item and another stat boosting item, and then I've got these JP orbs, and I've just been giving them to random characters because I actually found a really quick way to level jobs. If you link enemies together to fight them, you can get experience and job experience way faster. But let's look at some of this equipment you can equip. You do have knives, swords, axes, spears, bows, and you have your wands for your magic classes. And with some of the classes, you can even equip a shield in your main hand, so you have just double defense, but your guy, he's really weak as far as offense goes. Now, I don't recommend doing that, but if for some reason that's what you want to do, you know, go right ahead. There's all these different little stats you can earn per job, and at any time you can change from one job to another. You keep all of the experience you had during that level. That kind of makes it really different from like Final Fantasy VI, where if you were to switch a job, you would lose, you know, all of that experience up for the next level. You would have to start back at 0 for any job that you switched out. So that's pretty neat from this. It is a lot more new RPG player friendly, so you don't have to worry about there being any type of super hidden treasures or hidden quests that you normally wouldn't know about. They're all marked on NPCs. You can go back to any town at almost any time, and if you can't, the game gives you like this big warning. It's gonna say, hey, if you take this quest, it'll be a while before you can come back to the city, but you can always come back to the city. So just an overview of the game itself. You have 4 adventurers, 2 male, 2 female, 1 old, 1 young. You get all of the adventurers pretty early in the game, so you don't have to worry about like some of the games, it takes you a really long time to build up to when you have a full party. That's not the case on this one. You're going to get them all pretty quick. Before you leave the first town, you're pretty much going to have everybody you need. You do have adventurers that join you from time to time, but they normally leave a couple hours after you do get them. If you do find yourself really under leveled and you do get like one of these adventurers to join your party, you can pretty much take them anywhere, so you can chain enemies together and fight them with the other adventurers to help level your party up. So that's pretty neat. The combat in this game is turn-based. It is not action. You can speed it up and you can lower the speed You can also examine an enemy once you've defeated that enemy, or you can use a magnifying glass. If you use a magnifying glass, it pretty much unlocks everything about the enemy. But if you attack an enemy with different weapons, different magics, different stats, kind of like the Octopath Traveler, it will just show you what the enemy's weak against once you figure it out. Once you kill an enemy, the enemies do not level, so it will show you that enemy's exact stat every time you fight them from then on. But if you fight an enemy in the daytime, it's going to be weaker than if you fight an enemy at nighttime. Enemies at nighttime, they're a little bit stronger, and there are more of them grouped together. All of the dungeons that are accessible can be seen on the map. They're not going to be hidden. There's one dungeon that's like kind of hidden, but not really, because it actually shows you on the map that there is something there. So you know that there's going to be something there before you get there. I wouldn't say that Square Enix has gotten lazy with this RPG, but it's definitely not involved as some of their previous titles like Chrono Trigger or one of their Final Fantasy games, where you have hidden quests and hidden weapons and hidden armor that, you know, link to some of the better armors and weapons in the game. It's all pretty straightforward. There is no like really in-game grind to become the strongest, or any super, you know, achievements that are locked between almost impossible things to do to keep you from coming back. This is just really here for the story, and then once you complete the story, I mean, there's really no reason to play it again. That you can get multiple endings by beating the game over and over again, but it will say New Game Plus, New Game Plus Plus until you finally do see the true ending. But it's not like you're playing it again, because the story does change each new game until it's actually beat. And I think that they did that this way because the original was that same way. Once you beat it so many times, you know, you finally got to see the true ending, but it was different every single time that you beat it. So even though it says New Game or New Game Plus or New Game Plus Plus, it kind of is a different story. You're just going through the same settings. This is actually the third game in the series. I'm not sure why it's called Bravery Default 2, because it's the third one. And besides the same races and the same types of classes, it really does not have a whole lot in common with the first one. The main character is the same race, and the main protagonist is the same race. But other than that, you know, it's pretty different story. Just like a Final Fantasy 1 is going to be a completely different story than Final Fantasy 2, but they're going to keep some of the same aspects the same. So the music in this game is really great. I can't play it for you guys. Sorry about that. But it's more of an orchestrated background music than, you know, just a bunch of random tunes. Thankfully, you can always count on Square Enix for that. If you do have a Switch and you are looking for an RPG to play, and you are looking for more of an action RPG like The Witcher, this is not the game for you. If you are looking for more of a turn-based adventure, like I said, I Am Setsuna, then this would be more in your line. If you're looking for something a little more difficult to play, then some of the people say that the main bosses at the end of the game are really hard, but if you do level to 99 first, they're really not. Most of the attack power and defense and things like that you get will be from your levels. So the higher level you are, the stronger you'll be, and the easier the monsters will be. A lot of time when you fight some of these bosses and they're just way too strong, like I've only encountered one so far, Jormungand, and he's like in the desert. The only reason he's that powerful is because he's like level 80. And I'm like level 50. So once I gain those 30 levels and come back, it really shouldn't be that big of an issue where I am currently in the video game. But it is a nice little adventure if you do want to play a game where the heroes will win, where it is a fairy tale, and at the end of the day they will live happily ever after, and this is a game for you. So something that I really liked about Bravery Default 2 is I liked how big the world was and how many quests it actually had. I really liked the music, and I liked some of the classes a lot. Some of the things, however, I didn't really care for was just how much they've taken away from classic RPGs that used to be in these games. Like all of the hidden items, all of the hidden quests, all of the hidden treasures, the main things that people would do to try to max out their stats or skills or jobs after the quests, how much limit they put on the game to keep you from becoming as powerful as you could be. But that's about it. I mean, it's a really good, straightforward RPG, and it doesn't have a whole bunch of faults, but if you look at anything close enough, you're gonna see some. But I'm really enjoying this RPG, and if you are too, just leave a shout out. If you think I'm completely wrong, tell me why, and I appreciate it. And I really apologize that this is my first video. I had another video planned, but it's taken longer to edit it than I thought it would, so I'm gonna have to re-edit it. But before I do that, I'll go ahead and just tell everybody, if you are a fan of our parent channel, JJ Time, and you do want birthday shoutouts on my channel as well, please leave them in the comment section. I will need you to leave your first name, your birthday, what day it's actually on, and then I will give you a shout out on the day that I make that video. So like, if your birthday's on the 15th and I make a video on the 15th, you're probably not going to see your birthday shout out until the 16th, and I apologize for that, but I will tell you happy birthday, but it's just probably going to be a day late. But that's pretty much it. Tell me what you think. I really appreciate any feedback at all. Thank you so much for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully you'll get 4 or 5 of these videos a week on different topics, and I just hope that I'm entertaining at least. Have a good day.